Hi, I'm Samantha, and I play Leysa on Demon Days, an actual play podcast. Special thanks to Gordon McAlpin for creating the artwork for our show, and to ArcKnight for providing us with minis and props for our table. That's ARCKNIGHT. And a hearty thanks to you, our audience. We've heard the feedback and are upgrading our audio soon, so please be patient, and thank you so much for your support. Now, on with the show.
Friends, fiends! When last we saw our horned companions, they had just rescued the proprietor of the haberdashery, Tilde, and learned more about their forgotten memories. They bedded down for the night. Well, at least some of them did. And let Fetter take the first watch. Want to know what happens next? Then hand me that large pint of brew over there, and let's get right back into these Demon Days!
I sit down by the fire and I've cleaned up as much as I can. I think.
Yeah, there's gonna be some memory of the fight there. It's not a perfect thing, and drow blood's especially a little bit harder to get off of the ground. Same with orc blood, but it's good enough. Like you'd have to be looking for it to notice anything.
So they retire. Mm-hmm. You're taking first watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna finish a drink and then I'll go.
Where are the journals? With
I still have them.
She still has them. Yeah,
Yeah, they're in my
still has
hand.
them.
All right.
What's the watch order?
Who am I waking up?
You can wake me up.
Okay, great.
I probably won't have gone to sleep by that point.
I was gonna say.
Are you gonna get enough rest for the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to meditate. Sex is a meditation. Calm down.
Okay. Very good then.
argue with
I'll
that.
see you in a few hours.
To each their own.
You want third or last?
I suppose I'll be last.
So wake me up.
Right. Who's starting again?
I'm starting.
Benny? Yeah, just
Leslie, wake me up when you're.
Okay.
roll perception. Like
Roll perception, and there's some business I want to attend to as well.
Yeah. And so during this kind of nighttime thing, you can do what you need to get done, and count that among the sleep.
Perception.
Sure.
19.
19? Yeah. Your shift of watch goes by without any issue. There's a lot of wind brushing hitting against the walls. It's kind of soothing. And then you put some logs in the fire. You kind of keep that thing going. And
So while I'm on my watch, I'm going to pull out my green journal.
okay.
I am going to draft a fairly low stakes protection contract for her in the haberdashery.
Okay.
Nothing too hidden in it. Nothing too...
A little bit more on the up and up versus other ones.
A little bit more on the up and up. I mean, the final cost is the final cost. Long, happy life. Plenty of protection from this ever happening to her ever again.
So then, I guess on this contract, which aunt would be kind of handling that?
My mother.
Your mother. Okay.
Yeah. And when I wake Leysa up, I'll let her be like, nudge.
Do you like go in, just burst in? Or
I'll knock on the door.
She comes out, just kind of putting the robe back on.
Okay. Once she kind of heads out a little bit, I want to go in and wake up Tilde.
You're gonna go in and wake up Tilde?
Yeah.
Okay.
After
she's
kind of gone.
Do I notice this?
You notice that he's walking in past you?
Yeah.
So you see him starting to go in.
I mean, I wouldn't go in right away.
You wouldn't go in right away?
I would 100% wait till she's occupied and then slide in.
Got it. So then I guess that would be a competing roll, because it's pretty quiet once everyone retires in.
Natural 20.
Balls.
Oh, God.
No.
Well, I had an 8, so.
You walk in and Tilda's asleep, so you
Feel
kind
a
of
stiff breeze go past.
you gently nudge her.
And I've pulled the paper out of my journal.
She sits up, not wearing anything. The cloth is just at her waist.
Right, and I'll listen, Tilde. What has happened to you is unconscionable, and what little I can do, I want to make sure it never happens to you ever again. What I can offer you is protection of yourself and your livelihood. Take this, read it over. When the time feels right, just sign your name at the bottom.
And how do I get it back to you? She says.
All you need to do is sign.
She starts to look at it and just kind of.
Right. Read it over. If you have any questions, let me know, but let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
She kind of gives you a curious look. Sure. Is it bad that we would need to keep it a secret?
No, it's just private business, and these kind of deals are best kept between trusted parties.
Okay, I'm sorry. I never quite got your name. You're...
Feder.
Feder. She reaches out and kind of touches your hand, and it's warm and
Yeah.
kind of nice and gentle. And she's like, I will look it over.
Okay.
Get some sleep. I will get some good breakfast in the morning.
Okay. And then I'll turn in.
Then, Lisa, then your watch is up. Just a general perception check.
4.
You just
Thankfully-
had a jinx.
Yeah. Thankfully, nothing happens, but you're just kind of ruminating a bit as you're watching the fire and in your own thoughts. And then your watch starts to draw to a close, and you grab the next person, whoever you were waking up.
Go to Yusuf.
Knock on his door, and it's up to you. You pop out and roll that perception.
Nat 20.
Jesus, everyone's doing so well.
Everyone's rolling so well.
Except me.
Yeah, nothing happens. You get the as you're the next to last on the watch. Since nothing has happened so far, you're starting to feel pretty good about it, but still cautious after everything. Mm-hmm. So you spend some time kind of walking the place, checking out different things, and everything's in order, and the cellar seems fine, undisturbed. The snow, everything outside. You can open the door a little bit, carefully enough because it is a little bit loud and windy. You know, some of the footprints are all kind of covering over, so.
Just check and make sure the bodies are all still there. And
Yeah.
okay.
They're all still there. The criminals, you left them outside, right? You propped them
Yeah.
up outside. They're mostly covered over in snow, yeah.
Okay.
It's the storm's still going. Still going strong.
Close the door, pour myself a mead, and sit by the fire and
Okay.
put my hoofs up.
Put my hooves up. All right, and then your
Clock.
your shift draws to a close. Mm-hmm. In the midst of that, as you're doing that, Tazlin, your dreams are a little bit weird, kind of pop in and out of imagery. You see, basically, it's recreating that scene in the bar. You play your mind kind of plays it over and over again, and fits and starts, and details get weird and messy, and things start to kind of intersperse. It's kind of a chaotic dream recreation, but you focus mostly on the dark figure, the feathered figure with the porcelain colored face.
Oh, okay.
And you remember that conversation much more vividly. And when you hear the gentle knock, it kind of takes you a second to realize you'd been asleep.
Yes.
You're up.
Okay.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Leave her door open. Go back to my room.
Okay, cool. And then do your perception check to round out the night. It's a good thing.
7!
Yeah, you don't notice anything. But nothing happens, so it doesn't matter.
Looks clear.
Yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for something to happen.
Yeah. And as you're kind of, it's starting to get a little bit lighter through the windows as you end your watch, and you see yourself into the morning.
I've spent the night kind of like in front of the fire, just flipping my tarot cards.
And you first hear Tilde gets up first, and she's robed herself, and she's getting to the kitchen, and with a deft skill and speed, she's grabbing a dish here, grabbing supplies here, scurrying back and forth, even bursting outside, getting to the storage room, and she's preparing breakfast. And you're just kind of in the kind of hazy state there, but suddenly she's back in and still looking pretty haggard, but making the breakfast, and starts to smell sausagey, eggy type smell, and the smell starts to permeate the place, and that's what everyone else starts to wake up to. The smell of breakfast.
Fantastic. So I'll come out. Coffee is the coffee.
She points to the liquor.
It's this bean water. It's surprisingly good.
Bean water?
Yeah, no, it sounds weirder, but it's like leaves, but
Sounds
it's beans. No, but
So
like
you
that
mean
smell.
tea?
No, but it's a roasted bean instead of leaves.
She kind of considers you for a second. She's trying to rack her brain, wrap her head around this.
Or stiff tea, fine, whatever.
No, she seems curious. She seems to like this idea of a thing that she hasn't heard of. Interesting. 1 second. She kind of scurries out back to the door. Like, she seems very comfortable in this place. She just pushes through the door, like bam. You hear her trudging through the snow and lightly swearing. Damn, it's cold. And you hear the steps going down into the cellar, and
Lisa could go warm you up.
But don't not just like any beans. It's not like I don't just want like hot bean water. It's a very specific.
Isn't that what it is?
But yeah, I mean, technically yes, but like, never mind. And I just go back behind the bar and grab a whiskey. And
She
stuff.
comes back in with a smaller kind of pouch, and she kind of tosses it in your direction, Feder, and you open it up, and it is coffee bean.
Yeah, this.
Like that.
Great.
So you do something with that.
Yeah, I'll push by her into the kitchen and get a pot going.
And she kind of swats your behind as you do so. She's like, you get to work. You know what it is. I bought it on a whim. Some merchant came through, said it was good shit.
Feisty.
Who's this thirsty ass? Like I'm just just wiping stuff out of my eyes. Like, my God.
I see her like swat him on the ass and be like, you can go in. I'm just like,
no judgment,
jeez.
but gee, the gods.
She seems pretty friendly.
5 mugs to everybody.
She grabs it and kind of sniffs at it.
A little bitter, but it's good.
Could I have chocolate milk, please?
She kind of brightens. Oh yeah. There's a vial over near behind the darker liquid. It's got some left over.
Okay, I'm gonna go make myself some chocolate milk.
Definitely a splash of whiskey in mine. And then I'm gonna start perusing the coats.
Okay. She's busy. She's still sniffing it, kind of unsure, kind of staring at it, tilting her head a little bit, like. And it takes her a while. She's still kind of concentrating on it.
Yes, it is very strong.
And you don't put any like alcohol.
Well, you can, or a bit of cream, or
Oh damn.
some of that chocolate milk, something sweet.
She takes a sip. And kind of her face kind of, I wouldn't say caves in on itself, but more like scowls in on itself a bit. Just like, I'll trust your judgment. And she just keeps kind of sipping at it a little bit.
Yeah, hold on to that bag. Someone's gonna want some more of that. I'll show you how.
How much would you charge for it?
Well, fairly rare up here. Maybe 5 copper a cup.
Yes, okay. 5 copper a cup. Feder's Fine Brew. Yes. I shall name it that.
That's maybe not.
No credit? Oh.
No, take all the credit yourself, Tilde. Take all the credit yourself.
Okay, yes.
Tilda's fine bean water.
I don't
Maybe not.
Maybe not bean water?
I don't like the sound of bean water.
Neither do I. That's why I haven't tried it.
I mean, she
hands you hers. Like, if you want my bean water, my hot
What did you
hot
call
Is
this
this
water.
bean water that she
Coffee?
gets when she
Yes.
flicks it? Do you need to flick the bean to get this water?
And then
Are you saying that
You need
in
to
character?
really get in.
I feel like Alyssa
No,
needs
I
to do
believe
like a
you
con
need to
check
really
for
get in there and grind it.
God's rag.
God's and I God's drag indeed.
Gloriously enough, Tilda's just like, sure, grind and flick, yes.
Flick and grind and flick.
Add a little cream. I'm sorry.
I
So that
taste the coffee.
she suddenly and very quickly understands what happened. And she kind of scoots back to the kitchen. Pardon?
16, guys. 16 stories.
And I just call it. So these coats.
Did
she's like,
did
oh, yes,
somebody
coats.
shit on the coats? Please do not let somebody have shit on the coats. We might need those.
Right.
Tilda makes her way pretty quickly over to where you are, over near the coats. And she's like, which one? What do you like? What is your question? We do have coats.
You see the outfit, right? You know, I'm looking for, not like a cloak, something so passé, but perhaps something, a trench coat, something with fur.
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Yeah, it's been longer, open in the front, buttons.
Interesting. Yes. She kind of pushes through some of the clothes and kind of scoots past you, like elbowing you aside a little bit, and grabs out a fairly thick wintry cloak and tosses it in your direction. It's got some fur on the inside, looks like wolf fur, like a
Right.
white wolf fur.
Well, doesn't quite go with the outfit, but I guess it'll work.
Not too bothered about that. My fancy friend. I mean, it's just what we got. You're either warm or you're dead.
Sure.
No sense being dead in a nice suit.
What do I owe you?
She looked at it for a second.
A flick and a grind.
Did you say that out loud?
Sure, why the fuck not?
You
flick and a grind as she's
kind of
laying
see
down
her hand
cards.
like pop out from behind the aisle that they're in, and just kind of go. and it kind of shakes a little bit, like as if not my type.
I think you're safe. I think you're safe, Recher.
And then she looked at you, realizing that she did that motion in front of you. No, I'm sure you're a fine strapping young lad.
So the coat.
Yeah, the coat. Well, I mean,
Large weapons.
you, I hate to charge you anything for rescuing me and all, but throw a couple silver my way and we'll be good. The material cost is not too bad.
Toss her.
I had to kill the wolf for it. But
Yeah, I'll toss her a gold
Yeah.
piece.
Oh, gold piece. Oh, sweet. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. People come to me and, by damn it, I can't overcharge. That's a dastardly thing to do.
And it just like, as I hand it to her, I'm just like, but just consider what we...
Yeah.
And just kind of hint.
And she kind of, that's her version of a wink, which is not very good.
God.
So it strains her face a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
We got it. Your secret's safe with, your secret's safe with me.
Insight? Not a lot. 7.
It's like, she just couldn't control her voice. And then she kind of pats you on the shoulders. Like, all right, cool. I need to get back to making more food and breakfast and preparing for the day.
So like, chewing on some bacon. So, what are we doing?
That's a very good question. I sit down at our table.
Right. I'll pull up.
And she's busy,
With some
kind of
food and coffee.
and
I've got my chocolate milk.
You still hanging out by the fire?
I love heat, so yeah.
Okay.
And Taslin's just like right there with the fire, just
Like literally just sitting down almost inside of the
close
the
enough
fireplace.
to, or far enough away to where you won't burst into flames or clothing, but warm, you're warm. Your clothes are warm.
So, what does the I pull out the 2 wanted posters.
Clink, 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 clink.
Who gets these?
Did we give her back her ear?
Clink, clink,
No, it's still in my pocket. I mean,
clink, clink, clink.
you thought it over. Are you gonna put it back on, or?
I don't know that I can.
Right. So,
I feel like maybe we could sew it on. I don't know.
what do you
I
want?
would just want it.
Clink,
Like if it were
As a
my ear,
keepsake?
I would just yes.
Well, I'll give it to you and be like, well, you can always.
Well, I'm just going to give it to her.
Well, go for it.
Okay.
You kind of walk it over to her, and she's in the kind of the kitchen-y area.
I found
Doing
your ear.
And you kind of place it on the counter.
next
She
to the
stares at it
hats.
for a little bit.
We found this yesterday. I don't
Oh.
think we have the skill to reattach it, but thought you might like it. You look cute without it, though.
She kind of holds it. She kind of seems a little sad about it, just briefly, and she's like, "Oh yeah, thank you, thanks." And then she stops for that. People can reattach.
Yes.
How would anyone be able to do that?
Magic, stitches, plastic surgery.
Oh, hot damn.
I guess I wouldn't know about plastic surgery, but
Her great grandkids to the
cosmetic
16th.
surgery I would know about, though.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Plastics are new, but
She thinks for a second. I mean, I have no use of it. If you want to keep it, that's fine with me. I don't have any and she just starts to mumble it's probably weird. Yeah, weird. Never mind. I'm gonna continue cooking. And she just leaves it on the counter. So it's you can take it if you want. She tried to offer it, but realized it was kind of a morbid thing to offer.
Do you want me to take it?
It's me. It's me.
Okay.
And she kind of nods she
Comes back with it around her neck. It's the necklace.
no, I pocket it. I have some tact.
It's maybe grab an empty vial or something on one of the shelves if you want to keep it from going bad. And then she cuts herself short and that was odd. That was very odd. That was an odd thing. Gets back to her.
I just go back to my chocolate
Yeah.
milk.
Feather,
Yes.
I do have a question. A couple, actually.
Okay.
You seem weird.
Was that
You're
a,
one to
was that a
talk.
question?
As in the only one that didn't shtup the innkeeper weird, or?
Hey,
Whoa! Hold on there.
Obviously, she wouldn't have been into me.
Look, just because you're not chosen. But no, I just mean you know a lot.
Wow.
What's Azariel? You brought that up yesterday. I don't know anything about this. My father was human. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a human who got born with horns. This is all. I'm so far out of my depth here. I just need.
That's one way to look at it.
You know things.
So,
He takes some time.
I lean back in my chair with
And
my
describes the entire reason that we're having a podcast. And edit point, and
I mean, really, though, you guys, this is the first time we've sat down and talked. Since we literally had to use our own blood to get through a death maze. Trudge through the snow, which I've never seen before, by the way.
You hear kind of sing silently. Oh, I see snow all the time.
we're all in various forms tieflings.
We're half-breeds.
We, in whatever way, sometimes it's the union of a devil and another of the races. Sometimes it's...
Be it their choice or not. You notice Yusuf's demeanor has changed significantly.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's through a gift of power or a passing on of an agreement. We were all born blessed with infernal blood. And unlike some of the other unions that you would see, those of half-orcish blood or perhaps a muddled elven blood, it takes different forms and it presents itself in different ways. But here we all are. And so Zuriel, through whatever means, whatever your history or your lineage, is your blood relative, directly or indirectly.
Really?
Yes.
Cool. Right? Is that cool? It seems cool.
It definitely sets us apart.
That's what they told me at the monastery. It was the very positive thing to have a tail.
Right. Well, were you the only one of our kind at the monastery?
Yeah, I've never seen anyone like me before.
Well, welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're right.
Unlike folks who are more mundane heritage, our unique physiognomy makes us of a particular interest to, as obvious by our meeting, cults and various arcane users. It's a hell of a life.
What were your parents like?
That is a very long story for another time.
And you notice that Feder seems a little bit guarded about that.
Feder, did you know your parents? I didn't know my mom.
Yusuf?
Yusuf, yeah. Yusuf, did you know your parents? I didn't know my mom, so I don't know if she looked like me or not.
I knew a guardian. My mother didn't survive me being born, and I was raised alongside some of the more elite denizens of hell, and then I killed one and I left.
Whoa.
When he says that, I'm rolling an insight check.
Okay. Is it something you wish to compete with, or?
I don't lie.
Okay.
Well, yeah, elite denizens of hell.
Okay.
23.
You get the sense that it's not elite in power as in family name.
Okay. Then I'm horns, skin color. I'm starting to do like a who's who and see if I can start to piece anything together.
Who is your
what I know?
With the 23 insight, like you look at the tan lines of what my skin actually looks like, the purple hair, the gray eyes, and it's you pick up Mephistopheles.
Okay.
So you actually lived in hell?
For a time.
Whoa.
There are worse things.
I don't think it's bad. I just don't...
It's true.
I've
Could have been
only...
the abyss.
What's the abyss?
And he raises his coffee at that. So,
Like, remember all the murals and everything in the place that we were?
Mm-hmm.
Devils battle with demons. It's always been the way that it has been. Devils live in hell. Demons live in the abyss.
Okay.
and whereas devilish culture and the organization of the 9 levels of hell are hierarchical and structured, and the abyss is a place of darkness and anger and rage and chaos. Those vile demons seek nothing but the absolute destruction of everything. And the noble houses do their part to push back against whatever crawls out of the abyss and keep it from places like here.
The destruction of everything is impossible. Demons sound really... The abyss sounds dumb.
Right.
Right.
All right then.
And you haven't heard the clinking of the dishes for a while, and Tilda's not looking at you all, but she's very interested in this conversation. Very interested. She kind of skirts a look every now and then, and she's not good enough to be subtle about it.
Oh, sure. With a 17 passive insight,
Yeah.
or a 15 passive perception, I feel like I'm just wait for, noting the quiet and be like, Tilde, don't be a gossip now.
Oh, I wasn't. She goes back to what she's doing. It was fascinating. So y'all were in hell. I'm sorry. No, I don't.
I wasn't. I was just in the South.
South can be hell.
I liked it. I've not been many places in the South, though.
South. She kind of perks up. Oh, yeah. We had a few people from the South every now and then. Seems like a humid place, not too big a deal. I don't know what you would do without snow. I'm sorry. Y'all talking y'all talking to yourself. I'll keep doing. I'll keep working.
We're trapped, probably. My guess is hundreds of... We're doing miles or kilometers?
Miles.
Okay. My guess...
Kilometers would have been too much for my math.
Oh, sure. Yeah. My guess is we're hundreds of miles from where we need to be. We're all together. What they needed us for is either been unsuccessful or, given the nature of the earthquakes, something happened. And now, here we are. So, it seems like for the time being, we should at least try to get off this damn mountain.
Well, technically you're further.
We're like at the base of. So, we did fairly well with ourselves last night, and makes sense, I think, to stick together for a moment. But, where to?
Tilde, where's the next closest town?
Oh, she kind of stops her dishes. It's kind of a toss-up. You got the big city of Trost over to the north east a bit. She kind of starts doing some counting in her head. About two days and change, close to 3. And then you got Darville to the southwest a bit, and that's about 3 days. They're about the same. If I may, I mean, if you're looking for more answers or anyone who might know something, from what I've heard, Darville's kind of a shithole. You might want to go to Trost. I don't know. Not my,
Is there a... What's what was the rank on the wanted poster, the one in common?
The one in common.
Reach out to... return to...
She doesn't know about the wanted poster.
Oh, okay.
Well, DM.
Yeah.
What was the town on the wanted poster that was in common?
Harvest.
Trost is where the Aasimar came from, I want to say.
Hashtag Aasimar on top.
Aasimar on top.
So we've got hashtag Big Black Dagger, hashtag Aasimar on top, hashtag
rub and grinding.
Flicking grind.
Grinding and...
Yeah.
Hashtag flick and grind.
Hashtag snort.
Hashtag snort.
I feel like we can't really have a hashtag for my black sword because you've got Big Black Dagger.
Had to roll a nature check, I guess.
Right.
Just as a kind of remembrance of where. And then I still have to update your guys' maps.
4.
4 total?
Yeah.
It seems, as best you can tell, from the last thing you remember where Wildemar was, you think it's kind of in a vague, southern direction from that.
Right.
There would be crossing a body of water to get to it.
Right. It was from Harvest, right?
Harvest, yeah.
Right.
Actually, you have it on your map, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you've...
Returned to Harvest. Well, that's bloody miles away.
And those 2 on there didn't seem like it was... these don't say rewards or anything, but it doesn't seem like it was... Judging by how easy they went down, doesn't seem like you're going to get too much out of it.
Get too much. Not really worth the trip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You get the sense that with the other ones that are in a more beautiful script, and the paper's a little bit better, you get the sense that you might get more out of that.
Right.
And the drow was really skilled and really vicious.
And that was in Celestial, though, so
yeah,
we haven't really been able to...
Mm-mm.
Anyone? No? Well...
It was the Aasimar that translated the...
Did you say Celestial out
loud? Yeah.
Tilde kind of like, excuse me. She kind of almost says it quiet. Excuse me?
Yes, Tilde.
I don't mean to interrupt your devil talk and all that.
Good God, Tilde.
I can.
What do you want, Tilde?
I can kind of read a little bit of Celestial. Not much.
Fantastic.
I'll look at Liz and I'll be like, show her this. And just toss her the...
T, can you read this for us?
Sure.
T.
That's a position.
Did you say that out loud?
Yes!
The mind reels at what that means.
Tilde does a little bit of a giggle and briefly forgets what she's doing. Then she opens the thing up again. Okay, for the audience, everyone is doing T symbols with their hands.
I mean, lowercase t is a thing, boys.
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Now we know our alphabet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
So This is how the scissor was born.
Got it. From a lowercase t.
From a lowercase t. Put
T
on
for-
its side and then broken.
What does tongue start with?
So Tilde,
Over here.
closer.
T for tongue.
Holding up?
Tilde,
He's still figuring it out.
read the.
Today's episode of Sesame Street is brought to you by tongue.
T.
Oof.
My tongue and the letter T.
Okay. Okay. She looks at it for a second. The important thing was probably the number on there. They do have a number on that. 150 gold.
That's not nothing.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, each one's got their own. Like the drow, it's like 200, and the other one's 150. Sorry.
that is almost enough gold to make it worth wandering down to Trost.
Well, I mean, I cut her in half. I can cut her head off.
Yeah, I mean, probably doesn't hurt, right? But
I mean, it's cold. It'll keep.
right. Brash just seemed way too eager to have us go down there. I'm always suspicious of anyone that wants to tag along to make sure you do what they want.
Well, I mean, that being said, he sent us here into a.
A goddamn death trap? Yes.
Would he have known?
Probably not, but
Because Tilda's cool.
yeah.
That checks out. So he was sending us to someone cool.
Aw. Sorry. You gotta stop listening. I'm gonna go over here. She goes back behind the counter of the confectionery. Just starts. Oh, you cleaned up the glass. Thank you. Whoever did that.
Bias.
You're welcome. Tilde,
Like you're not.
do you have
Actually, no, I'm not.
any idea where we came from? You said
Like
you kept
in life.
no, as in
We
like,
came out of our mother's vaginas.
Well, I mean, obviously.
I actually ripped through mine's abdomen, but that's beside the point.
Morbid, yes, but what?
So,
Oh, you mean like direction?
Correct.
out of character, alien! Blah! So you were a
I'm a
facehugger.
paladin. I'm dead.
You just gotta burst on through.
God,
Lambo.
2 points.
Yeah, all y'all came from the south.
Which direction is Trost?
North, about northeast a bit.
So do you have a map?
I do, unless they took it. She goes and starts rummaging through a few different shelves. It takes her a little while, and she kind of comes out with another one, and it's like, okay, it's a little worse for wear, but here you go. She hesitates. I do have it at a couple gold pieces. It was very well done. And well
Throw her
made.
5.
5? Oh, thank
Yeah,
you, thank
I
you.
just don't.
And
Is it this one?
yes, but there's some more places on there, so I have to update you with those.
Where are we?
We're
You
at
are-
the Herberderschery.
The Arbiterschery, you are right,
Herb.
right there.
Herbert.
And so the Trost is
That one?
right there, yeah.
Got it. So, gang.
I am not seeing this because I'm still by the fireplace.
Still by the fire.
So we're here.
We're there. Trost is up.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. I've just been chiming in from my little peanut gallery.
And I mean, I know I have a lot of
almost a-
supplies here, but I
It's
mean,
almost 100 miles away.
Did anyone travel the river?
anyone travel the river?
Yeah.
I mean, this season it's been
Thinking
pretty
about
bad.
Does it freeze over? Is it?
Yeah, especially at this area. When you get a little bit further north, it's a little wide enough to where I wouldn't cross it without some kind of contingency plan, I guess. But
But no easy, fast, convenient way south.
if I had to get, if this storm lets up, the river moves a little bit. I have some boats. I mean, if you want, I could quickly go help you guys get some of those boats cleared out. And
How or where would we cross? Should we say want to go to Trost if we decided that was something we were interested in?
probably the easiest would be to go east a little bit to hit the river directly and cross there. Because where we are right now, it's pretty cold. It might be more cold, and it might just be a careful jaunt over. Again, I would still take the boat with you. Maybe if there's strong money, maybe hooves over here could carry it. You seem mighty.
Been called worse.
Yeah, big weapon.
Yeah, I wrote that, didn't I?
Yeah, what's the story behind that?
Your sword. Well, you had a sword and a hammer. They were big. I mean, one of them was pretty. I mean, they're both pretty big. I guess I should have maybe used plural.
Okay, that's that answered. That's all I was curious about. That's what I thought.
Oh, you're thinking penis.
I wasn't
She
sure if
giggled.
that's what you
She's
meant.
like, I don't know. I don't.
Isn't
I'm not gonna go
dick.
dig around in that furred area down there. I'm not too interested.
I mean,
And we're at 20.
veritable forest.
So I mean, yeah, I would say the storm can't last forever. I would, there are boats. We got boats over there. We try to provide. We try to. Sometimes people steal them. Some take them. But like, you could do the river that way and get yourself up a little bit. Wouldn't change much of your speed in this weather, but it would be easier to cross than in the summer. It gets mighty vicious.
Here's a question. Do we want to do some downtime here and wait for the storm to pass? Like how much longer do you think it will last?
Tilde, she's like, oh, yeah, let me check. She bursts through the door, out the door, and just walks 10, 20, 30 feet out. And she seems not too affected by the weather. I mean, it's cold, and she doesn't have that infernal blood, but she just like doesn't really give a shit. Walks out there, kind of trudges through, trips a little bit. You're like, oh, maybe I should. And she rights herself and kind of looks around. She kind of sticks her hand out, and this takes a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes. She's like, oh, it's probably ending soon. I don't think it'll be too much longer. You seem to have the worst of it.
Define soon. 13 survival check.
13 in maybe an hour or so.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Well, if that's the case, let's just hang out here for an hour and we'll get on the road then.
Yeah, no, stay as long as you like. I mean, you guys, to a point, earned the stay. And she'd walk back in and said that.
Right.
I mean, not that I'm not grateful. No, I don't mean that way. I do,
Look around outside. Is there a barn or anything?
No, it's just his place.
But no, maybe she had a smithy or something in the...
They got some good smithies up there in Trost. I don't care much about their designs. They're a little too, Stormlord for my taste.
I take it.
They like the storms, and that's like not a lot of people come during the storms. It's not good for business.
What?
But I mean, I guess that people make people stop here. That's true. I just don't. I don't go for that much. My licky's a little bit more my speed.
Tell me about the Stormlords since we have a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah. They called him. Oh, let's see. What was it they used? They said Cord. Cord with a K. I don't understand. I don't like K. Ugh.
As they're talking,
Yeah.
I want to step outside for a minute, and I want to pull out one of my daggers and find in like not necessarily like on the threshold of the door, but in like a pretty common place, but where people wouldn't see it, like a triangle, like carve like just a very simple small triangle with a line under it and then a circle under that, which together would be, the triangle would be good lodging. And I'll get you all of these.
Okay. So yeah, just
With like a little crescent in like the right side.
okay. Yeah.
And then combined with this, underneath it would be a straight line and an oblong, which just means good people. And I would just leave that outside.
Yeah, she's not paying attention, so she doesn't notice that at all.
Right.
Yeah, if smithies are what you want, that's the closest. I mean, you could, if you wanted to, take the journey. I don't know, if you wanted to get to the dwarves over in Mordenvale, that's a trek and a half. But I mean, they're the best. But they're the dwarves. They're a little bit. They've all been assholes to me.
They're dwarves. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, and they don't respect the hospitality a little, nearly as much as you guys have, and I appreciate it. But yeah, that's a ways. And it's, and she points it out on the map again. You'll see it. But it's all, they're mired in their own political shit. The last dwarf who came through here, he had a lot to complain about. I didn't understand any of it, but it sounds like there's a lot of civil unrest. I didn't care for it that much.
Well, what do we think, everybody?
Is everybody outside or are they still in the tavern?
He's
I just went outside for like
Okay.
30 seconds and then came back in.
Because I'm still just playing with myself by the fire.
Noted.
Right, so
Yet again.
all things being equal, let's say we at least vote. Might be vulgar of a way to do it, but at least let's every one of us express our opinions and kind of go from there. I'll start, I suppose. Iffy on Trost, but whatever. As long as we're headed south at some point.
I just need to keep moving.
Any particular reason?
We all have our reasons, and I'm in the same boat.
Fair enough. I mean, my home lies to the south. I'm fine with that. Trost is not south. It is almost due north, about 100 miles.
Right.
I'm just here.
I didn't intend to go this far north, but I will go wherever.
Started at the bottom, now we're here.
Yeah, level 2. Woohoo.
Started at the
And
bottom of the map.
You're all welcome to stay or come back. Like, you're always welcome here. Just know that.
Thanks, Tilde. I just don't know that if we go to Trost, we're not going to be seen as some manner of accomplice to all of the shenanigans up on the mountain, as opposed to victims.
Right.
Tilde pops up. Maybe I can help with that. I don't know. People there could know me. Is there anything I can give you as a token? I mean, do you still have the bodies?
Yes.
She's just kind of looking around like, where are the, like, how can I help? What can I do?
I mean, if we did roll in there with the heads of the people on these posters, like, that would, I think, assert our intentions a little bit, maybe.
Sure.
Or even the entire half of the drow that I cut in half.
And at the
I
worst,
don't want to carry that much of her.
at the worst, I mean, if they don't like the cut of your jib or whatever, the horns and shit, they're gonna still put you before the Empress herself.
See, Empresses
Had I met any Aasimar prior to this? Were there any in my order?
Do a quick history check.
Only a 7. God damn it.
Even still, low DC, no. Weirdly enough, no Aasimar made it that far down.
Would my order be recognized there? In Trost? Like, do we have like an outpost there or something? I don't...
No, not necessarily. But from what you've read, they seem religious enough to where, or at least pious enough to understand that there's something special about monks.
Okay.
So they seem a little bit more on the,
I mean, my order's a bit of an outlier.
Right.
That's...
Honestly, I feel like they're going to have more answers to whatever questions we have about where we came from.
There were a
that's the-
lot of Aasimar in that temple.
There were a lot of other things in that temple, too.
And the thing about smaller places like us, I mean, I know enough around the area just to know stuff. Kind of have to for the business, but a lot of small places, they don't give a crap. They don't give a hoot, about this sort of thing.
The big places do.
For better or worse, she says.
Well, it's not south, but I feel like answers lie to the north.
Sure.
Probably more questions as well.
To Trost then?
So what would be the best way to get there? Boat?
We have one you can use to cross the river, but I would recommend crossing the river, not necessarily using it. Especially, like, it's cold, and it's a little bit unpredictable, and who knows how the boats are, but as a cushion against it, I would cross just straight east first. That would be my recommendation.
And then go north.
Yeah. I mean, the river has slowed because it's winter, but if you get caught under there.
All right. Are there any guides that are around here that could help find us a path north?
Guides? Oh, goodness.
For hire or any trade, like tradespeople or
Ironically enough.
Stagecoach.
fur trappers or anything in that sense that...
I mean, you could try, like, waiting for a merchant or a party to come through. I mean, if...
I didn't know if there was a regular trade route from there to here.
I wish. It's a lot more regular when the snow's calmed down. Usually that's when they send out more of their convoys. Usually kind of in the more, like, spring and summer months, we tend to store up for the year. And this was a rougher storm.
Is there a road to the east after we cross the river? Is there a road north? Or would we
Not really. It's a pretty clear path, though. There's some trees, but you just head north. It's not too hard to... I mean, if you wanted to follow the river, you could, and that gets you north a ways. But then that starts veering off a little west towards... what was the name of that place again? To Norden, but, don't get many people from Norden. That's not really a place to go. Not really a destination for people like you.
All right.
They don't offer much. They're nice folk, but...
How far east should we head before we start heading north, or just cross the river?
Just cross the river, the river is just kind of a unpredictable, chaotic thing. I don't trust it. I don't like rivers very much. Again, we have boats. We have boats directly to the east. You can use them. I mean, if you make it across, leave it. Don't carry it with you. Don't break it or steal it. I'm sure one day I'll get when another merchant band comes in through, I'll get them to bring it back or something. Whatever. But yeah, it's a pretty straight shot. The ground's pretty even, just dealing with the snow and get some good cover from trees, little pockets of trees every now and then.
Is the boat labeled? Does it have your name on it so people know it's yours and bring it back?
I only label my pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess wait till the storm clears in an hour and then we'll head out.
Yeah.
You guys wait out the hour and the wind against the walls ceases. And
in the hour that we have left, stock up on just provisions like day rations and
sure.
make sure we have some
Should we also each get coats?
Yeah, cold weather
Coats,
I know
okay.
You got one already, but yeah, get a more substantial cloak to go over the one that I've got. If she has something like that.
I'd say maybe just because of all the combined stuff, maybe a gold or two to cover all the expenses.
Yeah, sure.
And it's enough to get you to one place, really. Because it's kind of it's more of a waypoint storage, but like the coats are a nice thing.
Get some stuff for fire starting, like some tinder.
Okay, yeah.
And,
Just gotta
just to make that trip easier.
And she, as kind of part of her preparation, she's scurrying back and forth. She goes to the confectionery, gives you all at least a pouch of a couple different candy types. I would say a variety candy pouch. They say you get all licorice. It's just all licorice in that instead of a variety. And somehow, like, she's fast at doing this too. Like, she was able to kind of tie a little rope around the little pouch and give a little note, like a little smiley face. And even everyone else, there's a little brief thank you note. But yeah, you get some candies, and she gives everyone a flask that's strong enough to hold the liquor for a while. Gives you a little bit of stuff to keep the joints moving. And she says that. Here's a little bit of stuff to keep the joints moving.
Very kind. Thank you.
Although, is your blood on fire? I don't, like, do you even get cold?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do.
Okay.
And I'll fill my flask up too. I have a personal one.
Oh, yes.
That's something good.
Do you want a second one?
Sure.
Cool. And they're not perfect flasks. I mean, they're gonna, you jostle them funny too many times, they'll break, but you only need them on a trip. She keeps kind of moving around, adjusting a couple. She's at the confectionery again, just like kind of moving a few things around.
What do you think, gang? Should we go?
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Cool.
When she gives us our flasks, I'll give her mine,
Okay.
which is something I made, and it's just like
Your own flask?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So thank you for
Oh, well, thank you.
taking care of us and
I was in a rough way. I mean, don't know what I would have done. I probably would have been food. But it's all good. You saved me.
Can we get some of that stew to go?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Hey, can we get like a big...
the stew that we ate.
That wasn't you.
No.
We found her ear, guys. It wasn't her.
I had started the stew. I didn't like that it was going cold. So
Good to know. Okay, and take off and
cool. Yeah.
take the boat across the river.
Yeah, she kind of helps you guys out. She follows you a little bit just to kind of see you off. I don't mean to follow. I just can't feel good unless I know that you're on the path and successfully on the path. I mean,
That's great.
a wolf could kill you, and I don't want that. And she kind of eventually hangs back and says bye, and you guys get your way to the east and reach the Norvale River. She wasn't wrong. It's, despite being mostly frozen over, it does seem a bit patchy, a bit tumultuous under there. There's underneath the ice as you get to it, you can kind of see that there's water just pushing through. It's an aggressive thing. But with the boat, you guys manage to get your way across. While you're doing that, though, just for the sake of it, roll dexterity. I would say saving throw. Because there's a lot of you with a boat.
10.
10?
Oh boy, a natural one.
Same.
No, 20.
I
You got 20?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also got a natural one though.
Okay, as you guys are crossing, some of the ice starts to break a little bit, but you two, Tazlin and Yusuf, since you're kind of a little bit more sure-footed on this ice, manage to see what's going on and get them to a different patch of ice. You guys manage to help them get past, but the ground starts to crack and you speed up your process a little bit. You reach the other bank otherwise without any trouble and start continuing northward towards Trost, making decent time for the remainder of the day now that the storm is gone. At first you see a few trees here or there, but as you continue on it becomes, the trees start to be a little more frequent, kind of this nice picturesque wintry forest thing. But again, you can still kind of see, you can see your path, you don't get too lost. There's not really, you can't get turned around, it's fairly easy travel. Eventually the night starts to fall and you find yourself in need of a place to camp. I would say someone do a check, just a survival check.
I'll assist. Actually, I'm proficient in survival, so
So am I. What do you got?
I am
plus
too.
5.
Okay, you do it. I'll give you advantage then.
That one's the better one. Oh my god, so 13.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit just to kind of find a sequestered grouping of trees away to set up a camp. You guys find it's a good spot. There's a decent enough cover from the grouping of trees, enough where you can kind of get a good vantage. So then you guys set up your camp. It's still cold, and it takes a little while to get any heat going, but it's working. with the tools that Tilde gave you and all that. So for the first night, what's the watch order?
I'm just gonna keep the same.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll start.
So yeah, we're just going around the table.
Okay, you're around the table. Feder, you can start.
Non-natural 20.
Okay. Yeah, your portion of the night goes by without incident. And for you guys, if there's anything you want to do during this night before...
I will, I'll just write the details of the contract and Tilde and everything in my green diary and say that we're headed towards Trost, it seems like.
And as you put the ink to the text, it kind of locks in.
Mm-hmm.
The ink kind of starts to sap up a little bit and fade as message received.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of your watch. And yeah,
Very
Lisa.
gently jostle Lisa awake. I know how those, like, I don't want her to just swing at me, so it's a very genteel, you know.
I got it. Thank you. Oh, natural 20.
Yeah, also without any event, nothing of interest really happens. You do every now and then you'll see kind of off in the distance a white wolf or a grouping of wolves kind of pass by, consider you with interest. Get close enough to where you kind of think, oh, is this going to be a fight? But they can kind of sense it. You guys are a little bit different than any just normal traveler, and they give you guys a berth. They don't quite care for the devil folk. And your watch passes without incident. Yusuf.
4.
4?
It's perception, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4.
Thankfully, nothing happens, but you wouldn't have noticed if anything did. Wind has started to pick up again. It looks to be a bit stormy again, not to the extent of what you guys just experienced, but you get the sense that this is more normal, kind of, the wind's picking up, a little bit more of a snow blowing off the gusts, or off the piles of snow out and about. So it's like, not pleasant. Taslin.
I'm just waiting for something to happen when I'm on watch. It's not a natural 1, that's good. But it is a 5.
5?
5 perception.
Yeah, you don't.
better
You
than
get
me.
kind of lost in thought. You know, your dreams are still kind of replaying the events, trying to stitch something together to cover that damn blind spot of having no memory. So it's still trying to stitch it together, but it's not doing you very good. Not nearly as surreal as when you were sleeping at the haberdashery, but. And yeah, your rest ends without any incidents. You guys wake up as the fire has dimmed and mostly sputtered out. And it's still pretty early in the morning, but you guys got enough rest. And you make your way forward some more. Using, cleaning up, leaving what supplies are no longer useful, and you kind of make your way forward.
When we're leaving and they're going forward,
Uh-huh.
any of our tracks, I'm just kind of like brushing away.
Yeah. And enough of the wind is picking up to sift it around. It's pretty easy. The weather is still stormy a little bit. You got some light snowfall.
I'm mumbling that I should have bought the rest of that coffee off of her.
Feder, do a perception check.
Sure. 10?
You feel extra little,
the little familiar tickle.
just an extra bulge in one of your carrying bags, and you kind of peek in there and happen to
John,
notice-
buddy,
What?
I had to look at this one. You're gonna
trying.
get her snorting again.
Yeah. we gotta get to 50, the 50 snort club.
Yeah.
You find the bag of coffee bean.
Oh.
She snuck it in.
Aw.
It's all that.
I look at
flicking and
Lysa and I
grinding.
just go, aw.
And there's a note attached to it.
I give you no context for why I did that.
There's a
yeah.
note attached to it. She says, I can't. I hate it.
Oh, okay.
Thanks,
Well,
I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Well, to each their own.
But there's also a smiley face. Like,
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Not tonight, but tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. So much coffee.
Yeah, so you guys make your way. Again, the travel's pretty easy. There's not much of note. You guys see a couple of wolves, a couple of animals trotting away. They give you a wide berth. You don't feel too threatened. And yeah, you reach the second night's watch. And I would say, yeah, let's go through this again quickly.
Yeah.
Unless you have any conversations, do roll your perception.
Non-natural 20 again?
Natural 20? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, your watch goes by without incident. The weather's picking up a bit, but pretty dull.
9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're kind of sitting there lost in your own thought, and everyone's snoozing away and thinking about the events that happen. You start to hear kind of a slight hum, a little whine in the air. Kind of comes and goes. You try to focus on it, but the light hum and whine happens. You think about it, like, where is that coming from? And it disappears for a while. The air feels a little weird, a little thick. You're about to kind of get back to doze a little bit, and then you hear a slight pop. hiss, and suddenly there's a more shrill little whine that starts to increase in intensity. And as you hear it, again, the air just feels different. Not a storm, but concentrated, local. Suddenly, you see something toward the middle where the fire is. Just a slight, like, line in the sky, in the air, kind of appear. Like this dark line, it kind of starts to get jagged and kind of forms like a weird. If you were trying to put words to it, you'd think it's like a tear of some kind. You hear it kind of the sound becomes more of a ripping sound, and the whine suddenly gets more intense, and suddenly there's a giant like.
Go ahead.
Whereas the.
Oh dear God.
Whose tent is closest to me, or like who is closest to me right now?
You always kind of circle with each other, kind of circle around the campfire. So you'd probably we'll keep it to the order of where you're sitting. So.
Okay.
And it's the ripping is starting to happen. It's starting to tear. You're starting to see like this weird looking tear starting to pull apart, and
I run to Yusuf's tent.
bulbous, sort of like rotted blue set of claws start to push through and curl around. Like they're trying to push through. Like, and the whine is getting intense. It's starting to make enough noise.
Yusuf.
Yeah.
And,
what?
Something's coming.
And like you get this arm kind of pulls through.
Get out of the tent.
And then it splits open, tears open even more, and then suddenly you hear like a, and it splits and falls like this mass kind of flops messily onto the ground, and it reveals like all of a sudden its body is kind of opened, and there's like rows of teeth as it kind of starts to get used to what it's doing and kind of flopping around, getting its footing, and the dark inky liquid is just kind of puffing off of it.
Are we in tents or are we all?
You're probably intense.
I definitely am not kitted out for a tent.
No, like I have like
This is really intense.
out of No, that does not count.
No, that
snort
counts.
does not.
That absolutely
That
counts.
snort does not.
So dumb, it has to.
So,
it's out of
do we have a big tent, or we have just two large ones? Like, what are we rocking?
Well,
here?
if we only have one tent, then it's intent versus being intense.
Well, regardless, I'm trying to wait. I need to know who I'm waking up because as soon as this thing starts ripping, I'm
Well, I
like.
mean, if you came to me, you're waking me up. I'm just curious
Well, yes.
if everyone else is with me. Or...
I imagine you probably had enough material for probably one tent.
Okay, so we're all
Yeah, so it's probably
We're all flicking and grinding together.
apparently.
Yeah.
I would
It's a
wake up
T-shaped
Yusuf
tent.
first because he's just like big and good at fighting. So in my mind, that's
Yeah.
like. he's
I'm
next
sorry,
to
who's got the kill count?
Yeah.
But sure, no, that's fine.
She's got the snort
Yusuf
count.
up.
I'm still mad at you. So
You and I are pretty much
hold
even,
on,
okay?
Lisa, as you're going to the tent.
But we solved puzzles together.
I know I like you. You'd be next. Fetter's just not. I'm not waking him up.
Fetter, we're besties.
So as you're running, you see another set of claws pull through and start to like climb out of this gaping hole. As you're running to the tent, you're seeing it. The other one's still kind of like figuring out what's going on, and it's starting.
Guys, I need all of you.
Bet you didn't see that one coming, did ya? Well, with that bit of fuckery, it's time for me to get out of here. Don't worry your sweet little heads, though, because I'll be back very soon to have some more of that lovely ale. And of course, I'll tell you what happens next to our heroes in these Demon Days.